The Vangona kingdom is in mourning. After 87 years on the throne, the king is laid to rest. The funeral ends, but the question of leadership remains. After the burial, the king's sons remain with family, carrying grief and expectation. Though raised together, their lives have taken different paths. The following morning, the princes prepare to leave. One returns to Europe, the other to Cape Town. Their mothers watch in silence. Behind closed doors, the elders meet. The kingdom needs continuity. Tradition points to an heir, but reality complicates the choice. In Europe, Prince Chividizelwa's phone begins to ring. He hesitates. He already knows who it is. Beside him, Tracy reminds him that the life he chose is far from home. Still, he answers. On the line is Vomukoma, calling on behalf of the council. The request is clear: return and take the throne. Prince Chividizelwa listens, then respectfully refuses, choosing the life he has built over the crown he left behind. In Cape Town, Prince Rudzani's phone rings. He freezes, tension written across his face. Sibusiso urges him to answer. Some calls can't be ignored. On the line is Vomukoma, updating him on the elders' meeting. His brother has declined the throne. The request now falls to him. Uncertain, Rudzani ends the call. Moments later, his phone rings again. This time it is his mother, gently but firmly pushing him to accept what the kingdom is offering. Rudzani listens, conflicted, knowing the decision is now his alone. After careful consideration, Prince Rudzani accepts the responsibility. Days later, the kingdom is formally addressed. A decision is announced. Prince Rudzani is named the next king of the Vangona kingdom. A new reign begins, carrying expectations, pressure, and secrets yet to surface.
1 year after Rudzani was crowned king, the elders began to worry. A king, they said, must have a queen. Before tradition stepped in, his mother tried. She brought different girls to the palace, noble, beautiful, well-raised. She hoped her son would choose for himself. But King Rudzani showed no interest. Each time his answer was the same: the time is not right. His mother grew afraid of rumors, afraid of pressure, afraid of what the elders would do if he continued to resist. She pleaded with him. A throne without an heir is a weak throne, she said. The kingdom needed certainty. At last, King Rudzani agreed. The elders arranged a marriage with the most beautiful girl in the village, a woman of royal blood. The wedding was celebrated across the kingdom. Drums beat, joy filled the air. The king was married. But the honeymoon passed in silence. King Rudzani never touched his wife. Days turned into weeks. The queen began to lose herself. Her confidence faded. Her beauty felt unseen. Her confidence faded, her smile disappeared, the palace whispered again. At last, she found the courage to speak. She confronted the king, searching for answers, for reassurance, for love. But the king turned away. He ignored her pain, he ignored her tears, he ignored her. And in that moment, the silence became something else, dangerous. The kingdom believed the throne was secured, but inside the palace, a dangerous silence grew. A king bound by duty, a queen starving for love, and a secret waiting to destroy the crown.
2 years later, whispers fill the palace. People say Queen Masindi cannot have children. They call her the barren one. With no heir, the king's mother tells her to see a doctor. Nothing changes. Sibusiso arrives at the palace, disguised as the king's business advisor. At night, King Rudzani leaves his wife and meets Spusiso in secret. Queen Masindi sleeps alone. Hurt and confused, Queen Masindi speaks to Rudzani's mother. Instead of support, she is blamed and told she does not know how to keep her husband. Soon, Rudzani's mother convinces the elders that the king must take a second wife. Rudzani tells Spusiso the truth. If he refuses, they will lose the power and luxury of the throne. They agree to go along with the plan. The palace celebrates a second wedding. Spusiso stands as the best man. During the toasts, Spusiso secretly drugs the new queen's drink. She later falls into a deep sleep, dressed in fine lingerie. While the palace believes the marriage is sealed, King Rudzani slips away with Spusiso into the night. The throne is protected, but the lie is now dangerous.
Queen Munaga, the second wife of King Rudzani, is unhappy in her marriage. The king rarely comes to her, and in the palace, a woman without a child has little power. The first wife, Queen Masindi, has no children, and Munaga believes that giving the king an heir will prove her own worth and expose Masindi's failure. Under pressure, King Rudzani sleeps with Queen Munaga, not out of love, but to silence her. They oversleep, and Spusiso, the king's secret lover, goes to check on him after his calls go unanswered. What he sees breaks him. Without confronting the king, Spusiso leaves the palace and goes to Cape Town. 2 months later, Queen Munaga is still not pregnant, and the king withdraws again. Desperate, she sleeps with a bodyguard who is also the king's cousin. Soon after, Queen Munaga becomes pregnant. The palace celebrates. Queen Masindi is blamed, and no one questions the truth. Although the king now has an heir, he feels empty and misses Spusiso. In Cape Town, Spusiso's life falls apart through alcohol and a reckless relationship. Bitter and wounded, he begins to blackmail the king for money, threatening to expose his double life. King Rudzani remains trapped, rich, powerful, and deeply unhappy, living a life built on secrets and lies.
In the kingdom of Vangona, secrets are never born quietly. They grow in lies. Queen Munaga gave birth while the whole kingdom watched. The people celebrated, believing the child was the king's. It was not. Tsiko, the king's bodyguard and cousin, knew the truth. As the child grew, his face began to resemble Tsiko, and whispers spread through the palace. Tsiko confronted the king. He confessed to sleeping with Queen Munaga. He claimed the child as his. When the king refused to believe him, Tsiko produced proof, WhatsApp messages, voice notes, and late-night promises. Desperate, the king offered Tsiko money to keep silent. Tsiko took it. Then he made his real demand. He said a king who could not produce an heir had no right to rule. He demanded that the king step down and hand over the throne. Finally, Tsiko delivered his most dangerous threat. He told the king he knew he slept with men. If the king refused, the kingdom would know everything. The palace did not fall. It cracked. As the king struggled to contain the damage, another danger watched closely. Spusiso, once close to the king, turned their private moments into blackmail. He leaked fragments online, a voice, a shadow, a message, always tagging the king. While scandal grew, Queen Masindi suffered in silence. Ignored by the king and humiliated by the elders, she watched Queen Munaga's child become everything she was not, loved, praised, favored. Jealousy whispered. One night, the child died. The palace did not seek the truth, only someone to blame. A maid was punished. Masindi was never questioned. The king buried the child in silence and withdrew from his wives and his kingdom.
Queen Munaka, consumed by fear, demanded another child, believing it would save her. The king refused. Tsiko remained alive, richer, closer, more dangerous. Sibusiso remained watching. The king remained trapped. And the kingdom waited. Because when a child dies in a palace, the story does not end. It begins.